Hi everyone, my name is Kevin. I'm 16 and I love baseball, going out with friends, movies, oh yeah, and I also talk a lot. Maybe a big mouth is just my curse. I've never known when to shut up, but when I finally learned, I realized that silence costs money. Well, first things first. As I said, I talk too much. At school, not only did I talk about what was happening in our family and about myself, but I also told everyone everything I know about my friends. Who likes who did what, and much more. Of course, my family didn't like that I was spreading all my household secrets, just as my friends didn't like that I was spreading everything I knew about them. My family had no choice but to put up with me, but my friends didn't have the same problem. Pretty soon, I was alone. I couldn't get new friends either, because no one wants to be gossiped about, and I could start gossip in a heartbeat with all my chatter. I had to get by in a school where everyone hated me for my big mouth. I have to admit that it was difficult, so I was happy to hear the news from my dad that he got a new position in another state and we were moving soon. As usual, I wanted to tell everyone, but my dad asked me not to tell anyone. It was very difficult for me to keep quiet, but I couldn't let him down. And also, when I thought about it, I realized that this would be my second chance to make friends in a new school. If I wanted a real shot, I would have to learn to keep some things to myself. Within a week, we moved to a new house, which, by the way, was just gorgeous. That same morning, as much as I would have preferred they didn't, they sent me to school. At lunch, one guy sat down with me. His name was Billy. He held out his hand to me, introduced himself, and began to tell me about himself. Oh, I wanted to tell him everything. How we moved here, where my father worked, about our amazing house, but I tried to restrain myself because if I start gossiping, I won't stop. To Billy, I must have seemed pretty quiet, because all he found out about me from the conversation was my name and the name of my favorite baseball player. But me being quiet didn't stop us from becoming friends. Billy and I spent a lot of time together, but I never told him everything I wanted to. It seems like me being quiet just made him feel like I was trustworthy. He told me that he liked a girl from our class, Judy, but he asked me to keep quiet about it. Why did you do this, Billy? When I found this out, I wanted to tell everyone. When I was in class, I sat there, bright red, because I had information that would be big news. But instead, I stayed quiet because I was very afraid that I would lose a friend and everyone would start hating me again. Billy's secret was literally eating me from the inside. I took an empty notebook and wrote it down. I thought that it would be easier for me. And it became a little easier, but not much. Unable to contain myself any longer, I ran to Billy. Billy was surprised to see me at such a late hour. He was even more surprised to find out that I wasn't a quiet person by nature, but was just holding back so I didn't start spreading rumors about other people. Billy, to my surprise, understood, and most importantly, he realized why I was so quiet. He didn't stop being friends with me either, which really surprised me. He even helped me figure out how to keep a secret more effectively. Billy took a $5 bill out of his pocket and handed it to me. He explained that if he pays me to keep the secret, then it would be easier for me because it would be like a job. So I became the keeper of secrets. To be honest, the payment for keeping the secret helped me a lot, and I did my job responsibly. Until one day, Billy came up to me, upset, and said that I didn't have to keep his secret anymore. He had told Judy everything, and Judy, to put it mildly, turned him down. Poor Billy. The next day, after school, Judy came up to me. She just sat me down on a bench, handed me $20, and started talking. It turned out that Billy told her about me, and Judy really needed to talk to someone who knew how to keep quiet. She thought I was the best option. We sat on the bench for about 2 hours. The whole time, I listened to her as she talked about secrets she was keeping from her friends and family. Some were very interesting. I had a pretty nice conversation with her, and I even thought we had become friends. But at the end of our conversation, she just shook my hand like I was some kind of therapist and left. When I got home, I was already thinking how strange it all was. I reopened my notebook of secrets and wrote it down. All of Judy's most interesting secrets. I got so carried away with writing that I went to bed with no homework done. Soon, rumors about me spread throughout the class. In the cafeteria, a couple more guys came to me at lunch, handed me money, and immediately told me their stories. It was wild. I just ate and listened to someone tell me in secret who he was in love with or how he did something very bad and was afraid someone would find out and he would be punished. Many different secrets, mostly harmless, but there were scary ones too. In order not to forget any interesting secrets, I began to carry my notebook with me to school, where I wrote down all the interesting things I found out. There were so many people willing to share secrets that I had to make a schedule to communicate with everyone. I literally had dirt on all of my classmates. I didn't even think about the consequences if the notebook fell into the wrong hands. All I was thinking about was my bank filling up with money and what I would spend it on. Actually, that's a lie. I would like to say that I only thought about that, but at night, I couldn't sleep for a long time. I would stare at the ceiling, thinking about my classmates' secrets, how Sam bullied little kids, or how Jen stole money from her mother's wallet. There were also very terrible secrets about family situations or other personal moments, the kind I didn't write down in the notebook, but simply kept in my head. Those secrets were the kind that kept me from getting to sleep at night. Soon, kids from all over the school began to come to me, and the job of keeping secrets began to turn into a kind of nightmare. I couldn't do it anymore. I went to Billy to tell my secret this time. I handed Billy a $5 bill. That was my standard rate for keeping a secret, but Billy refused to take it, saying that friends shouldn't have secrets. I was so happy to realize that there was a person in my life who was ready to listen to me just because we were friends, and I told him how I felt. At home, I wanted to write everything I had told Billy down in the notebook. I thought it would be easier for me. I opened up my bag to get out my notebook of secrets, but it wasn't there. After checking the whole room again, I finally remembered that I had been writing down the secrets of another client in the classroom. I must have left it there. If someone read it, everybody's dirtiest secrets would come out. In the morning, I asked my dad to drop me off at school early, but the highway was under construction that day, and we got stuck in a traffic jam. I hoped that nobody would pay attention to my notebook, but how wrong I was. Once at school, I immediately rushed to my class. I saw Billy standing and laughing while watching our classmates fight over the notebook. Some of them had already read a couple of secrets from the notebook out loud, and were now fighting for the right to possess this almighty artifact. In one leap, I burst into the circle of my classmates and snatched the notebook out of their hands. At that same moment, I lifted the notebook above me and tore it into small pieces. That was it. Enough. No more secrets. Everyone started yelling at me, especially the people whose secrets had gotten out. They were right to be upset with me because I didn't keep up to my end of the bargain. So I gave them back twice the amount they paid me. They seemed happy enough with that, and so was I. After all, I finally realized how important it was to keep my mouth shut, made a friend, and of course, I made good money. Tell us, have you ever had to keep other people's secrets? Was it difficult? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget